Good morning, guys. So I come to you from my office, which is in progress, but I'm pretty happy with it. And on a different day, I will give you a little tour of what I'm in the middle of. But I wanted to share a short story with you about my experiences in the last week or so, and then a meditation to follow, or like a reflective exercise that hopefully will offer you some peace and clarity as it did for me. So, life has been really full and generally full of really fun and exciting things. I'm working hard and making a future that I am excited about. And I feel like I'm doing a good job of prioritizing the things that need to be prioritized right now. But that said, the plate is full right now. And I woke up feeling pretty exhausted and overwhelmed and depleted. And when I started making my to-do list, I was a little bit resentful with some of the items and commitments that I had on my list. And just feeling like I didn't have anything to give. So I decided to commit a little bit of time to myself this morning to regroup and figure out what was going on so that I could shift into a place of whatever it was that I needed. So I went for a walk and I talked to a friend, and then I ended on my way home at a park nearby. And I decided it's like a beautiful crisp fall morning, and the birds were chirping and there wasn't a lot of traffic with people or anything. So I just sat down and I did a meditation. And the first thing that popped into my head is a meditation or reflective exercise that I offer my clients frequently. So I work often with women who are trying to create space in their lives for themselves. Women tend to often be giving from like just this huge heart and desire to make the world a better place and to love and support the people in their lives. And sometimes that gets overrun with so much giving to others and so little receiving themselves and so little giving to themselves, because there's a lot of judgment around that for women, both from ourselves and from the world around us. And so I wanted to offer this exercise because it's for you when it's the thing you teach and the thing that your life is reflecting back to you that you're not practicing. So I did this exercise, and then I had a little bit of clarity about where I was and what I needed to do to shift so that when I moved into my day and, the things that I wanted to extend to the world, to my friends and family, to the commitments on my to-do list, that it was coming from a genuine place of me wanting to give and having something to give from, rather than from a place of depletion and exhaustion and frustration and all of that. So just a side note, when I offer meditations, more likely than not, my eyes will be closed because that helps me not be distracted by the outside world and tune into my own guidance system. So if you want to stare at me with my eyes closed, that's totally fine. I would encourage you to try and close your eyes as well if it's comfortable for you, only if it's comfortable for you. I bought this not that long ago, and it says, when I get to the end of my life and I ask one final question, what have I done? Let my answer be, I have done love. And this is by Jennifer Pasteloff. And I'm going to hang it up eventually, but what have I done today? And let my answer be, I have done love. So hopefully we can extend a little bit of love to ourselves, because what we're willing to offer to ourselves, we're willing to offer to others. So find a comfortable seat. You don't have to be sitting. You can sit up straight if you want, or you can sit comfortably in a chair or a couch or something like that. You can lay down if you're comfortable with that too. And I just want you to do 3 letting go breaths. So Breathing in and then exhaling from the back of your throat like you're fogging up a mirror. So really letting go of any energy you feel in the back of your throat. So as you're arriving inside your body, I want you to imagine a root growing from the bottom of your sacrum, so from your tailbone, and just imagine it starting to make its way through the ground, sort of breaking up the soil, through the gravel, through the rock, and it's just like pushing its way toward the center of the earth. And as it gets to the bottom or the core of the earth, feel those roots wrap around the core so that you feel really strapped in. You don't feel like you can float away, and you start to feel a grounded sense. When I'm in this place, I like to imagine on my inhale drawing energy from the earth into me to replenish myself, just the way that plants do, that they grab their nutrients from the earth. And on your exhale, you can do those letting go breaths. And I also sometimes imagine draining off anything that I've been carrying around that's no longer serving me and letting that go into the root system and down into the ground and just allow it to be composted into the earth. So just creating this exchange where you're breathing in and letting the earth really fill you up, and you're exhaling and really allowing a letting go of things that no longer serve you. And hopefully you can begin to find some equilibrium there. And now I want you to bring your attention as you're comfortable, and if you need to pause the video and just take some time to continue with that activity, that's fine. You can get whatever you want out of this meditation. The next thing I want you to do is bring your attention up to your chest, so around your heart center. And I want you to imagine I imagine like a gauge, like a barometer or a test tube that runs from like my collarbones down toward my belly button. And this is sort of a imagery to get an understanding of what your energy level is. So if it's really, really full all the way to the brim up by your collarbones, then that's going to reflect that you are super full of energy and really inspired and have so much to give. And if it's really, really low, down by between your tailbone and your sacrum, or between your navel and your sacrum, then you're feeling super depleted and just exhausted, and you don't have much to give from anymore. So I just want you to take a minute, imagine your gauge, and feel out where you are today, in this moment. My rule of thumb is if I'm below a 5, then I need to pick at least one thing that I can do to fill up my energy well so that I'll have something to draw from for the rest of the day for myself and my loved ones and anyone else that I may encounter. So I want you to imagine off of this test tube, this barometer, that there are little tubes going off to all the different things that you're responsible for throughout your day. And sometimes those things, the tubes may feel really large and some may feel really skinny, and Those are drains from your well. And that doesn't mean it's bad, it just means they're things that you're giving your energy to. So as you begin to take inventory, see which items are draining a lot of your energy right now. What is requiring a lot from you? So this isn't, you don't have to make any decisions about changing anything, but just becoming aware. And then I want you to take a few deep breaths and exhale from the back of your throat and really hold a space for yourself here. Be kind to yourself. You're giving a lot. A lot is being asked of and required of you. And that can be hard sometimes. So I just want you to hold kind of a compassionate space for yourself. You're doing the best you can. And oftentimes we want to hold, perfectionism up as the ideal, or, pleasing everyone else, making sure they're happy with us to get their approval as the ideal. But the reality is, we're the ones we have to live with. So I want you to just notice if there are any tubes that you can disconnect today in this moment. They don't need to be constantly draining your energy. Maybe you're thinking about it all the time. Maybe you're giving way more time to something than you feel comfortable with, or than is serving you. And I just want you to just take notice of those things. You don't have to take action at this moment, but I just want you to begin to really reflect on where you have control in this situation. What can you start to let go of? Maybe if you're not ready to take action in terms of letting things go, or rearranging things, or adjusting the amount of energy you're giving to something, then just kind of make a visual shelf up in the right-hand corner of your mind's eye and put some of the things that you'd like to come back to and consider adjusting onto that shelf. So they're there for you when you're ready, when you want to take a little bit of time. And so now I want you to come back to your primary energy barometer. And I want you to think about what fills that up for you. Is there a physical activity like dancing or exercise or a walk, or is it reading a book? Is it meditation or prayer? Is it talking with a friend or family member? Is it watching a comedy thing on YouTube? It doesn't really matter. Maybe it's snuggling with a pet. But I just want you to start to think about the things that you love doing that fill that well up for you. Sort of creating a few other shelves in your mind's eye and filling those shelves with your choices of things that fill you up. And I want you to think about today. You may not be able, to do all of those things, or even, a couple of those things. But I want you to remember, we have to give to ourselves first if we want others to give to us. We cannot give from a place that we don't have something. So rather than waiting for someone else to give it to you, give it to yourself. This is where it begins. So what is one thing you can take off that shelf today and make some time for right now? Is it allowing yourself to cry in the bathroom stall for 3 minutes? Is it allowing yourself to recline your car seat and breathe or take a really short power nap today? Is it going for a walk? What is it? Is it writing in your journal? What's one thing you can do that would feel like you're adding to your well today? So it's always this balance of letting go of things that we're giving our energy to that no longer serve us, or in this moment that doesn't serve us. And so, we can prevent the drainage, but it's also figuring out what things we can do to enrich ourselves and fill ourselves up. It's this kind of ongoing balance where we have control, and the second that we start to feel like we don't is usually the indicator that something is off and we need to come back to this visualization of a barometer in the middle of us that's telling us what we need, where we're at. So if you've done nothing else for yourself today, you've taken time to check in with you. You've taken time to turn your attention toward yourself and take one action that is an act of self-love. Let that be enough if that's all you've got today. So when you're ready, I want you to wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel the surface that your bottom is sitting on. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes. Keep your gaze low. When you're ready, you can come back to the room. So I hope this was helpful for you today. And I'll be thinking of you as you move out into your day. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll share it with somebody who you think might benefit from it today. And as always, like or share or subscribe at your leisure. So have a wonderful day. Bye.